I thought maybe you would want to see how I normally do my basic face. So I don't use foundation. Like, if I ever use it, it's a foundation combined with sunscreen, and I use the tiniest little bit and I mix it with my moisturizer. I use a BB cream that's got my sunscreen in it, and I'll go in, I mix my moisturizer with anything tinted at all and sunscreen, put it all on at once as a part of my skincare routine. And then I end up spraying it with like a setting spray kind of, and then I'll go in and I'll put concealer where I need to, and most of the time I'll just put a little tiny bit right here and tap it out with my fingers, and a little tiny bit out here and tap it out with my fingers. When I'm on camera it might be a little bit different, and I might put more concealer and then tap it out with my blender. That's gross. I used it for powder too. So I take a little bit of white powder, baking powder, translucent setting powder, and I'll put it on my blender and I'll tap it on the back of my hand and rub it around, and then put what's left of it here and then wipe it away with a large fluffy brush. And after I have my concealer on and my eyelid primer, this has gotten a lot of use, I'll spray it again with a setting spray, usually something like this, sometimes something like this, and something like this, depending on what kind of primer I've used in my skincare routine. It varies. And then I will normally go in with a bronzer. I don't have a go-to bronzer right now, so I'll use this. It's got horrible reviews, but I use it from time to time. The colors are pretty light. I'll go in with the darkest one here. I don't feel the need to cake on makeup on my face. It doesn't feel natural to me. If you can do that and you feel good about it, no judgment whatsoever. I feel like it's almost a sensory thing to have too much going on my face. For me, I'm going right up here, and what I learned when I was a teenager is go in where the sun would hit you. So I'm not using this to contour my face. I very rarely contour. If I were, I would be going down here with a shadow, and instead I'm just going to take this and I'm going all the way up here and blending it out. Again, just where the sun would touch me. I'm going to use the side edge right here. I've already had to cover up a lot of redness in here, and I don't want to brush away too much of it, so I'm going very lightly. And then this might be considered contouring, but I just like my face to be, I don't want stark white right here. And then I'll take it down my neck just a little bit in certain places here, where those shadows are. Again, I'm not going super heavy on this. I'm making sure that I pull up in this area. Clean off my brush a little bit. I'll go in with this brush, and I'll just use this palette today. Blush. And I generally don't like to use blush with any kind of shimmer just because of where I place it on my face. I'm going to take the darkest one because it doesn't really have a whole lot of shimmer. And I'll just take a little bit, and I'm very lightly. You think about, like, I don't know if you were taught to put it here, but then your face goes down here, so you'll be ending up with blush here, and I don't do that. I just put it here. I've already got some redness, like I said, there that's coming through. So generally I have my bronzer up here and my blush here. And see the direction that I'm using that brush? And I'll just bring some of that around. Just what's left. I don't need to coat anything in red, for sure. Sometimes in winter, I might go a little bit right here. Not really doing that right now. Clean off my brush, where I've hit pan right in the middle. And this brush, and I will put some here. And I go here, and whatever, this is what I do. And then I try to blend it out because I don't really want it to be obvious that I've got a whole lot there. I just want to open up my eye a little bit. I might also take a little bit of this one and just go here and here, just to highlight that part of me. I don't guess I normally would do that if I'm like for work. Maybe I don't need to do all this. And put a little shadow right there, because where I see a shadow, I'm gonna maybe add to it unless I'm trying to remove the shadow. For my eyebrows, if I have any little patches, I might use something like this. It's got a super fine point and it's like a brownish color, dark brown. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'll use the gold shade, and I will just take tapered highlighter brush, and I'm just gonna go right out here, and I look to see where the light hits, and that is where I'm highlighting. I don't need to bring it down here, and I can bring it up. I like this palette, it's buildable. I don't need to super glow on any given day. I can always add more later if I want. I feel like with my highlighter, this is generally where I start to get really cakey. So that's why I just try to limit it to this area here. There, just to highlight my Cupid's bow. If I'm going to put on a lip, like generally when I go to work, I know that it's just going to come off and I do not have time. So I might do something basic like that. It changes colors. And it might kind of stain my lip just a little bit. If I'm looking to do anything else, maybe I would take that. And I always go in and I color in my lips too. And then I would on top put whatever it is that I'm wearing. And I don't always have to use a whole lot. Fingers can be wonderful for this. Something like this or this. They basically looked like the same thing. This one I've used over top of so many shades that it's kind of turned a little bit. But I'll go right here. Sometimes right there. And that's it. That's my basic look. Hope it helps. Whatever. Okay, bye.